Yes, guys, welcome back to Alpha Plug. Today we've got a very special guest and the one and only little Bellsy. How are you doing today, Bellsy?
Yeah, I'm amazing. Thank you. How are you?
I'm very good, I'm good. So let's get right into it. But first, we would like to thank today's sponsor, Intelligent Labs. Intelligent Labs use scientifically advanced formulas to create essential nutrients in the most absorbable forms. They take care of potency, quality, and science so you can take control of your own health. They're gluten free, allergen free, non GMO. They use bioavailable vitamins and have no artificial colors or flavors. They have a 4.9 out of 5 rating on Trustpilot and are trusted by nearly a million customers worldwide. Intelligent Labs are currently doing an offer of 15% off your first order if you use the link in the description. Please use our affiliate link in the description below or pinned comment because it really helps the channel. Now back to the interview. Are you excited for your Misfits platoon on September 23rd in Newcastle on Misfits 009?
Oh my God, I'm so excited. Like when I got the call up, I was like 100%. The Queen is down. So yeah, no, it should be really good. Look, I've never been to Newcastle before, so I'm looking forward to bringing some entertainment to absolutely everybody, and obviously going to win over the crowd. So it should be really good.
Yeah. So I want to touch a bit on your last fight. What was the ring walk like for your fight against Kimchi on Misfits 007?
Oh my God, you know what? I was like, I guess, I'm the queen, so I had to bring something extravagant. I was like, there was a few options that I had, and I was like, oh, being in front of 20,000 people, I guess, for me, that was probably my biggest audience that I had had before. Obviously, my last fight prior to that was a smaller amount. So yeah, I thought, why not a throne? It's quite fitting for myself. So it worked out well. Like my theme music, it just everything just went to plan. So yeah,
Yeah, I think I recorded your like entrance song and it was so good. I think it's off like Creed, right?
it is. Yeah, do you know what? When I heard it, I was like, damn. And then I just kept thinking and thinking, I'm like, yeah, this is my song.
Yeah, yeah. Nice, so good. Honestly, it's one of the best of the night, in my opinion. That walkout was so good.
Oh, I loved it. So my next one, I think is going to top it. So I'm really excited.
But I'm excited
Yeah.
now. I'm excited.
The outfit, the abs, like everything. It's just wild. The thought and the creation that has gone into everything. And I mean, that's the whole thing, I guess, with crossover boxing as well, isn't it? Not only is it the fight on the night, but it's also the entertainment during the whole week and costumes make everything, your theme song and you as a person, you're a character and you can tell a story. So yeah, I think it should be really good.
Yeah, 100%. I'm looking forward to it. 100%. So, yeah, in your last fight, then I was like me personally, I was most impressed with your footwork and your jab and just basically your boxing fundamentals. Does that come like naturally to you, or have you just like worked really hard and are now really good at those things?
Yeah, it's so interesting. I guess you say that because you know, I took the leap of faith to obviously go to Dubai, and my coach, being a Hall of Famer, and has trained some very high up there athletes. So he really, I guess, taught me quite a lot, and the main thing for him was the jab, which I was able to use to my advantage. I guess, this camp has been a lot different in the aspect of, working on defense. Boxing itself, hey, is a whole different sport. Like it's a fine art and you need to get the basics right before doing anything else. So, learning that defense and the jab, like, oh, my arm. I'm like, how many more jabs do I gotta do? But I know in myself that, I can go places with this, and it's something that I do want to pursue more. I absolutely love boxing. So and learning to each camp and each time I'm in the gym training, like I learn so much and I'm enjoying it. It's great.
Yeah. You talk there about training camp. Is there anything specifically you're working on in camp for this fight on September 23rd?
Yeah, look, a lot more sparring. So my last camp, obviously, I didn't do as much sparring as this one. Uh, and look, to be honest with you, anyone can hit pads. You can do as much work as you want. You can be as fit as anybody, but at the end of the day, like if you don't get that sparring in, then it's not really going to help you. So I think that that's helped me quite a lot. I've sparred with quite a lot of different people, and everyone's different from like southpaw to orthodox and the way that they move. And, it's all about head movement too, because I guess, last fight, it's still learning. So my head really wasn't moving. I was more focused on the jab and, making sure because she was southpaw. So I'd never fought a southpaw before. So they're a little bit harder, standing on their feet and they're going to obviously go to a certain direction. So yeah, sparring has been like a massive, so nearly every day, like I spar. And they're not just, 2, 3 rounds. Like he makes me do like 8 rounds, 3 minutes. And if he doesn't think that I did well enough, like he goes, nah, like you've got to do more. That's it, like, so he's really pushed me hard. And I feel like he's treated me like one of the boys, which is what you need. It's that tough love that you obviously need because I'm not in a sport where it's, I don't know, like just fun and games, like it's business. And I'm there to do a job. I had a face off the other day with AJ, and I don't have anything against her. I don't really know anything about her, but at the end of the day, like business is business, and I'm there to do a job. So, yeah.
Yeah. You talk about sparring there. Do you think that's what, female influencers need is just more sparring to get them ready for that first fight? Because we have seen, especially with like the fangs, they look really good on pads, but then when they actually get into the fight, it's like a completely different story. So do you think, sparring is really important for female influencer fighters?
Yeah, to be honest with you, I feel like, the more that I sit back and actually look at the female influencer boxing scene, I just think to myself, like, then they don't take it as serious. And I really wish that they would because you don't understand the impact it has like on others that want to take it, you know what I mean, seriously. So if they do, they need to be in the gym. You need to have that dedication. You need to have that mental capacity and the strength and to do the sparring. Like some people just think that like, just go into the gym, hold some pads and everything's going to be fine. Like, no, it doesn't work like that. That sparring is so important and understanding the importance of, defense as well, because, we go in there with no head guard and I know people just like, oh, it's just crossover boxing, but it's still boxing. You're still getting hit in the head. It doesn't matter like what it is. At the end of the day, it's still boxing. We're wearing 10-ounce gloves, no headgear. So you need to learn. You can't just get in there and just like your head just be going everywhere because it's just not going to work for you.
Yeah, exactly, 100%. So then you're going into this fight 2-0, I believe. You're undefeated. But then on the
You
other hand,
know
then on the
it.
other hand, you've got AJ Bunker, who's 0-2, with losses to Albrook and Astrid Wett. So then, with that being said, do you think you're the favourite for this fight?
Well, look, I don't think that I'm going to be the favorite because, look, I'm from Australia. So no one really knows who I am. I'm, stepping into somebody else's backyard. Like I know that she's from over there. So obviously she's probably going to draw a crowd and be a favorite. But I would also like to think that some people have somewhat watched, my journey and my last fight. Yeah. And I feel like, I don't know how it's obviously going to pan out, but I would like to think that, I can outclass her in boxing. And there's levels to this. And I know that she's not at my level. Like, I know that she hasn't trained as hard as I'm training. I know her coach isn't like my coach. So, my coach is 63 years of age, and he's very, very old school. Like, I'm in the gym 3 hours in the morning, 3 hours in the afternoon, doing sprints. I'm doing pools. Like, it's just crazy. So, yeah, I mean, she probably will be the favorite, but again, I would like to think that I will just shock everybody once again. Yeah.
Yeah. So then you mentioned that you think AJ isn't on your level. What is it like specifically that you think that gives you the advantage in this fight? You know, is it the jab, just the fundamentals? Is it your work ethic? Is it your heart? Like, what is it specifically you think gives you the edge in this fight?
Look, I think, we've both got the heart. Speaking to her the other day, I can see that she's definitely got heart, but I just don't think she's got the determination. Definitely doesn't have the jab, no defense at all. Look, things can change, but it can't change that dramatically. So from what I've seen of her last fight, yeah, she just, she gets rocked, and then she just, I don't know even how to explain it. She just gets like a bit frazzled and doesn't know what to do. So she'll just start throwing like these haymakers, but that leaves you open. I can uppercut you. I can go to your body. I can work you. So I don't want to go in there and it just look like a bit of a scrap fight. Like that's not what I'm about, because at the end of the day, like depending on how I feel about the situation, like I've had people approach me, actually from the UK, some promoters wanting me to go pro. They were surprised on, I guess, how I fought, and could see potential. So I just want to see, yeah, how I go in the long run. But yeah, I think, she's got a lot of work to do, and coming off two losses, she's going to do a hat trick and have three. So, but I give her credit getting in there with the queen. It's not easy.
Yeah, no, exactly. So that you mentioned that, you talk about the possibility of going pro. Do you think that if you make a statement on September 23rd and, really get a spectacular win, maybe even a knockout, that becomes a real possibility of you maybe going pro soon?
Yeah, look, it just really, yeah, I guess depends on how I perform on the 23rd. But I feel like I'm good, like I'm fit, I'm strong, I'm mentally great. So this is probably the most that I've prepared for a fight. I mean, my last fight was pretty good, but this one has been a lot different, and I'm excited. I think good things, and I mean, it's for the title belt, so why not? We can walk away and bring it back home.
So on September 23rd, then the fight's over and you've won. The fight's over, you've won the belt. Is the next step then still Astrid Wett in the future?
Look, she ain't gonna fight me. She's already made so many excuses. She don't want the smoke. Like, and you know what? I would be happy to like even get down to her weight. It was interesting. Mans even messaged me and said, "Hey, would you get down to like, I think it was 112 pounds." Now, I was like, 100% I will. Like, because I know that I can outclass her, that I can beat her. So it doesn't matter who you put in front of me. I'm not going to duck and weave, because at the end of the day, we all get given challenges, and every single person is a different challenge. So I'm up for it. So, I beat AJ, and then, I can call out Astrid, but look, at the end of the day, she's all for clout. She don't want the smoke. So, she had her opportunity and she didn't want it. She left Misfits. Why? She just wants those easy fights. She's just picking for it. I understand that it's all about like crossover boxing. We need to make it a little bit interesting, but like, geez, what she did, it actually made crossover for women's boxing embarrassing. I was like, what the hell is going on here? Like, she's no good. You and I both know that I'd smoke her. Yeah.
Yeah, did you manage what happened, I think a few weeks ago, where Astrid was meant to fight Alexia Grace on her own promotion, but obviously it ended quite badly. Did you manage to see that a few weeks ago?
Yeah, look, I like obviously didn't like tune in and subscribe or whatever, but things had been sent to me, and it was just a shambles. Like the whole, like I don't know how you can think that you can just pluck your own promotion out of the air within a few weeks, and think that you can do that all on your own. Like there was just nothing, it didn't vibe. There was no, I understand that she probably has subscription-based people and people want to watch that kind of stuff, but yeah, the whole thing was a shambles, and I just didn't know what to think. I was like, wow, girl, like you are something else. And look, she'll never be at my level. She will never be the queen. Like, there again, there's levels to this, and how you perceive yourself as well. And what I think too, it's like those fine details, right? Like you I don't know, like some of these girls, what they are wearing, I'm like, where'd you get that from? Walmart? You know, like, come on, you have to put thought into it and you have to put money into it. You need to make money. You need to spend money to make money. So, you know, at the end of the day, like you can still look nice and like elegant at your press conference, you know, doll yourself up, make yourself look good. It sells. That's what you want, you know. They look, they aren't the queen. That's all I can say.
Yeah. I mean, hopefully, in your sake, you become the queen on September 23rd, and then hopefully,
Yeah.
then the big fights start coming in. And talking about the big fights, then AJ Bunker's previous opponent before Astrid Wett was Al Brook. How do you think you fared up against Al Brook in a fight?
Yeah, look, she'd actually be quite a tough opponent. I feel like, you know, she's obviously got Ebony Bridges behind her, which, you know, a former Australian woman champion. But yeah, I think, you know what, I could actually outclass her as well. And I'd be happy, like, you know, to fight her. I guess there's a bit of a weight thing with Albrook. So that would probably be the only downfall. But if we could come to a compromise with no rehydration clause, then yeah, I mean, I'd be down for something like that.
Yeah. And also, obviously you've got the Kingpin tournament now, and obviously I know that's kind of like, being pushed aside temporarily. But obviously you had a lot of female fighters fighting on the Kingpin tournament. So do you think that, the more female fighters that get into the influencer boxing scene, the better it is for the likes of you, Astrid and Elle and so and so?
100%, because like I think at the moment there is actually not much of a variety of us. There's only just a handful, and we're all different weights. So it's really hard to kind of, I guess, like for me, I don't really want to be jumping weights. I just want to stick to that same kind of weight class. And it's a lot easier to like having to drain yourself like down. You know, you got to think of your height and your age as well. Like I'm 33. Some of these girls are, you know, 26, 27, you know, they're shorter. So obviously their weight's going to be totally different. It does take a toll on your body, especially like having to drain yourself that much, obviously weight wise, or going up in weight. I've never had to experience obviously going up in weight, but you know, going down in weight, I've experienced that. And I mean, it's hard. It does take it out of you, but like the more women that are coming, like want to do it and like coming forward, it is going to give us like some sort of like boxing, I guess, woman community that we can all kind of fight each other and bring women's boxing back to light. But again, it just, you know, these girls need to be serious about it. You can't just get into the ring for the sake of it. You have to want to do it. And two, you want to be able to fight. You have to have some sort of knowledge. You don't want to just go in there throwing hands and having no idea what's going on. It just doesn't look good, you know, just even if they can stick to the jab, you could jab your way through a fight 100%.
Yeah. And we're
Mm.
seeing a lot more female fighters, really like get the light shone on them in boxing. On the pro side, you've got Amanda Serrano and Katie Taylor, and on the influencer side, you've got yourself, you've got Ashford, Brett, and Elle Brook. Do you think like just the incorporation of female fighters now that they're getting so much more recognition, so much more like just praise from general boxing fans?
Oh, 100%. And that Amanda, she does really well. And now that she's been more discovered and has come out a lot more, a lot of women are watching her and seeing her succeed. And also just like Alicia as well and Clarissa Shields, you know, watching those women, it, you know, for us it's empowering. You just think, wow, if they can do it, you can do it. And I mean, at the end of the day, you can do whatever you put your mind to, you know. So if you're, it's so interesting because I don't see it, but like, you know, I get a lot of messages through Instagram like, oh, you've inspired my daughter, and I'm getting videos of like they're like 12 and they're doing boxing, you know, they're on the pads or they're doing, you know, jump rope and things like that. And you just think, wow, like if I'm impacting those small, like a small percentage of people, like I know in myself that I'm giving women an opportunity to be able to know that it doesn't matter what sport you're in. Like I know it's a male dominated sport, but you can do whatever you put your mind to. So yeah, I think it's great.
Yeah, brilliant. So then moving on from Misfits '09, we go to October 14th, the prime cards. Now, this is what everyone's talking about in our space. Can I ask you for some predictions? Who do you think is going to win between Dean the Great and Wally Sharks?
Oh, yeah. See, I reckon Dean probably might win this one because I feel like there's a bit of rivalry, personal issues there. So, and especially they just had like a tag team, like something. Yeah. So I just feel like Dean might get up on this one. Yeah.
Mhm.
That's my prediction.
Yeah, I think all I know that build up for that fight is going to be full of animosity because those two
Mhm.
absolutely hate each other. So I think either way, it's going to
Yeah.
be good.
Yeah, 100%. Do you know what the whole card is now that I see is coming out? I'm like, especially Anthony Prettyboy with Kenny, like that'll be a mad fight. Like that one would be hard, I think. Kenny's done really well because he was on Kingpin, and then but then Anthony had bet Salt Puppy, if I'm correct. So that was a bit of an upset as well. So it's like that one's a little bit hard to determine who. Yeah, but I think that would be a great fight too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. I'm 100% looking forward to that one as well. But then, who do you think is going to win in versus Logan Paul versus Dylan Dennis?
Mm. Well, geez, there's been a bit going on in that one, hasn't there? So, wow. Yeah, look, to be honest, well, I reckon even Dillian might happen to get the win on that. But yeah, again, I don't know. I don't really because I don't really follow Logan much. So I know he does like a bit of wrestling and that. I don't know what his boxing's like, so I haven't obviously haven't seen that. He bet KSI though, didn't he?
No, no. KSI. I think the first fight they drew, and then the second fight, KSI beat Logan. So yeah.
Ah, okay, yeah. So look, I think yeah, that one may be Dillian, but I could be wrong. Anything's possible in boxing, isn't it?
Exactly, anything's possible. And then the main event of that night, KSI versus Tommy Fury. Who do you think is going to win that fight?
Mm, look, I to be honest with you, I think Tommy might upset. It might be a bit of an upset on that one. But again, like KSI has been really good with all his opponents. So he could come back bigger and stronger. But yeah, I don't know. I think Tommy might, yeah, it might be a close one, but yeah, Tommy is going to win that one.
Yeah, I mean, all I know is I was at that press conference where tables were flying and bottles were being thrown and everything.
Oh my
And yeah, it really
God,
was
that was
entertaining.
crazy.
Yeah,
I was like,
exactly. Yeah.
oh,
Oh,
geez.
that was. I think as soon as the press conference started, I was do you know the prime bottle that Dylan Dennis threw that landed near me, and from that moment onwards, I knew like this is going to be like a good press conference.
Yeah, so heated. I was like, wow, this is wild.
Mm.
Yeah.
So
But
on
I mean,
the
you know what? They've done really well with the promotion and everything like that. So yeah, it's not long now until they fight. But I think they've drew a really good card on that one, which has been good. It'll be good to watch.
yeah. Well, thank you very much for this interview, Bellsy. Good luck on September 23rd. I will be there and I will be watching. And yeah,
Amazing.
talk to you again soon.
Perfect. I appreciate you. Thank you so much.